Hello, everybody. Welcome to Youth Connect. I'm Aiden,
And I'm Jeffrey.
and welcome to another special edition of Youth Connect. I hope you guys are excited for this episode of Youth Connect. Obviously, just going to say it here and now. It in person is just going to be me and good old Jeffrey. But don't worry, you're going to get Joshua, Kevin, and Nebraska's news. So don't worry, guys. We're going to get full package today. So don't worry about it. But guess what? If you don't know what Youth Connect is, I have a short description about it. Youth Connect is a news, interest, entertainment show that was created during the pandemic for the community, by the community. I guess the entire team of Youth Connect want to get into broadcasting work, want to become podcast creators, music producers, and composers, and so much more. But usually we have me, Kevin, Joshua, Nibras, and Jeffrey, but I usually start off with myself and my gaming news. Okay, guys, first things first on the list. What's the first thing on the gaming news? Well, first, we always have to do our spotlight game of the week. A game that I think that I want to shine the light on and I want you to try out, guys. And today's game is a bit on the darker side. Not too dark, but more on the environmental side. Today's game is called Ending. Extinction is Forever. This game is about, will a mother fox, the last of its kind, be able to save its three little cubs? Experience what life would be like on a world ravaged by mankind through the eyes of the last fox on Earth in its eco-conscious adventure. Discover the destructive forces of the human race as it day after day corrupts, pollutes, and exploits the most precious and valuable resources of the natural environment. You will explore Endling's 3D side-scrolling world and defend your cubs, three tiny and defenseless furballs. Feed them, watch them grow, and level after level. But the interesting factor is that you need to notice their unique personalities and their fears, and most importantly, help them survive. You have to use the cover of night to stealthily guide your little litter towards a safer place. Now, the scary thing about this is that spending the day resting in an improved shelter and plan your movement carefully, guys, because this could be the last for you and your pups. Now, this game is all about eco-conscious game, and those games are kind of dark. But the interesting factor about this game is that it tackles something that most games don't do, the destruction of the environment. So seeing the game through the eyes of literally the last fox on Earth is really sad to hear. But it is a game to really check out because you know what? If you aren't paying attention and you aren't focusing, you could have some major consequences. And if something dies, like if one of your litter dies, they don't come back. This isn't a video game, and it's a truthful fact. And this game really kind of promotes how we should take care of our environment. And it's a really good game for the factor of how it tackles the eco sense while also being a video game. I really hope that you check this game out, guys, because again, an eco friend or an eco conscious game that wants to tackle the dangers of what's happening to our ecosystem, because guys, it tackles real life problems that the environment is experiencing at this moment. So it's a game that really should get a lot of attention, and I really hope that you check it out. Anyways, though, next up we have Kevin with some all important news.
Hello, everyone. You are tuned into Youth Connect with me, Kevin Aruja. First, let's go to the headlines. Variants age 18 plus eligible for second booster shot. Ontario Government Education Union begin their contract. GTA under heat warning as climatologists warn that warmest part of summer has yet to come. And Canada's Aurora grants faster time of rough and tumbles 800 feet. The Ontario government, in consultation with the Chief Medical Officer of Health, is expanding eligibility for second booster doses to Ontarians aged 18 and over in order to provide an extra layer of protection to those who may need it. Eligible individuals can book an appointment through the COVID-19 vaccination portal or by calling the Provincial Vaccine Contact Center. Eligible individuals can also book an appointment directly through public health units that use their own booking systems, through Indigenous-led vaccination clinics, and participating pharmacies. Bargaining beginning Monday between the Ontario government and a major education union. The first in a series of talks scheduled with labor groups in the sector before contracts for teachers and other schools workers expire at the end of August. The Canadian Union of Public Employees, which represents 55,000 Ontario education workers, including early childhood educators. School administration workers, bus drivers, and custodians said negotiations begin as scheduled on Monday morning. Existing contracts are set to expire on August 31st. Unions said they want to see better wages for members and improve education experience for students. While the government had stressed that it wants to see students in class without disruption this fall. The inflation and the high cost of living are expected to be top of mind during the talks, and both sides are entering negotiations with baggage from the recently re-elected Progressive Conservatives 4 years in government. Most of Ontario, including the city of Toronto, is under a heat warning, and one expert saying this could be the beginning of a warmer than usual summer. Temperatures in Toronto are expected to reach about 40 degrees. There are humidex over the next 2 days, and with a little overnight relief. Environment Canada issued a heat warning Monday afternoon, predicting hot and humid conditions on Tuesday and Wednesday. On Wednesday, the temperature is expected to rise to 31 degrees with 50% chance of thunderstorms. Environment Canada warns hot and humid air can lead to deteriorating air quality, that residents should watch for signs of heat illness. Symptoms like swelling, rashes, cramp, heat exhaustion, fainting, and heat strokes. In other sports news, Marco Arop washed in shock as Canadian teammate Brandon McBride crushed in this rough and tumble heat of the 800 meters. 11 minutes later, Arop's biggest concern was just to stay on his feet. The 23-year-old from Edmonton reported the fastest time of the 800 heats at the World Track and Field Championships on Wednesday, despite running much of the race found in lane 2. In the weather, hot and humid conditions are expected Friday and Saturday. Daytime high temperatures reaching the low 30s with humidex values in the upper 30s are expected Friday and Saturday. There is possibility that the heat even could spread to Sunday. Overnight low temperatures at 20 degrees Celsius will provide little relief from the heat. And now, for the interesting fact of the week. You probably already guessed what our interesting fact of the week is. You're right, it is a Taj Mahal again, but this time it's different. It's a different story. This time in Agra. In the last few days, I had the opportunity to visit my home country, India. My family and I took a trip to Agra to visit the famous monument built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan to house the tomb of his favorite wife by Mumtaz Mahal. It also houses the tomb of Shah Jahan himself. Now for a few interesting facts that I've learned and observed during the trip is Makrana. Makrana marble was used in the construction of the Taj Mahal. This stone contains 98% calcite, which makes it durable and water resistant. Makrana marble is also non-porous. And about 28 types of precious and semi-precious stones were used for adorning the Taj Mahal. Jade and crystal was imported from China, jasper from Punjab, lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, carnelian from Arabia, and turquoise from Tibet. Taj Mahal changes colors depending on the amount of light and time. In this sense, the Taj would appear to be pinkish in the morning, milky white in the evening, and golden in the moonlight. And last but not least, the least facts was the four pillars of minarets are tilted outwards rather than standing straight. The reason why it was constructed in such a way was to protect the main tomb Gambad from being damaged from the falling of minarets on it in case of any natural calamity like an earthquake. leaving you with beautiful memories of Taj Mahal. Now, over to Aiden.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I didn't know that about Marvel. Very interesting news. Thank you so much. On to our second gaming news. I have some very interesting, well, DC news. I know I don't usually tackle the DC genre, but this is quite interesting. Now, if you guys know of Gotham Knights, it is apparently a really good game that is going to be coming out very soon. But apparently, Bruce Wayne has really and truly bit the dust in Gotham Knights. Apparently, creative director Patrick Redding has confirmed at the San Diego Comic-Con that the upcoming loot-focused beat 'em up won't feature the Joker either. Though Redding did leave the door open to Harley Quinn showing up and smashing a few things. But guys, apparently if you guys know in Gotham Knights, apparently Batman has been killed off. In the first few minutes of gameplay, he was killed off in an explosion, and then pupils of his descent have to take over and protect Gotham City. But apparently, the weird thing about this game is that usually, kind of the creators of all the Batman series usually pull like a fast one on the fans. But seriously, apparently the creator says that, well, WB's Arkham games have been known for their devious plot twists, usually being like Batman was the true villain of the series or mind control. But the interesting factor is that Batman and Joker will not be showing up in this game, so it will be entirely focused on not the two genres. Joker apparently was also another seeming mystery. While Gotham Knights revolves around the Court of Owls, the clown has a way of usually showing up uninvited even if he's dead. But once again, though, Redding has laid any lingering speculations to rest. So don't worry, guys. If you were planning to sit excited to play as Batman in Gotham Knights, I'm gonna have to sadly disappoint you and say that he won't be in it. And the Joker sadly won't be in there as well. We don't know. This game is quite interesting. He hasn't said anything about Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn also has a game coming up called Rocksteady's Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. If you've ever seen the trailer for it, it's really good. Now, I'm not one for the DC series, but having a game that's in the DC genre but not having Batman is so strange to hear because usually the games revolve around him. But you know what? It will be nice to see how the sidekicks of Batman are going to take the spotlight for him and protect Gotham City. Apparently, it's going to be a great beat 'em up. Anyways, though, next up we have Joshua, and Joshua has with us some good story news and, of course, your very favorite animal news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Good Night Now for a good news story. Teen hailed as a hero for saving three girls and an officer after vehicle sinks in the river. The right place at the right time. That's where 16-year-old Corinne Evans was when a car full of three teenage girls drove into a river in Mississippi. Now hailed as a hero, the powerful young swimmer rescued all three girls plus a police officer who had jumped in to help but ended up swallowing water. It was 2:30 a.m. on the boat ramp in Moss Point, Mississippi, when, following their GPS, three teenage girls drove their car off a boat ramp and floated 25 yards out into the river before it started sinking. They managed to get out of the car and onto the roof, according to ABC News. Evans heard them crying for help and took off his shirt and shoes as he jumped into the water to rescue them. Evans, who said he had been a strong swimmer since age 3, told himself that he could not let these folks die. Evans' friend Karen Brandy also jumped in, as well as a police officer, Gary Mercer. As the rescuers were helping the victims to shore, the story took another unlucky turn. Officer Mercer was too close to a struggling victim and was pushed under the water. He inhaled water and was now drowning. Evans swam over and rescued the police officer also. Evans and Brandy helped the three girls and officer to the shore, and while describing the ordeal as very tiring, all four are expected to make a full recovery. The police department and I commend Mr. Evans' bravery and selflessness he displayed by risking his own safety to help people in danger, Police Chief Brandon Ashley said in a statement. Evans and Officer Mercer afterwards were given certificates of commendation from the city of Moss Point. Many lessons can be drawn from this story. Don't trust your GPS around poorly marked waterways. Don't get too near a drowning person, and keeping yourself capable of swimming 200 feet might save your life or someone else's. Now for another good news story. A carpet cleaner in Maryland has a secret. There's nothing else to call it but a superpower, know but you would never know it unless you took him to the UN headquarters. Vaughn Smith of Gaithersburg, Maryland, is a hyperpolyglot who is a person that speaks 11 languages or more. It basically means that learning languages comes easy for him. How easy? Smith has got 40 languages under his belt. He says his interest in languages is to connect with people are happier and kinder when you speak their language. He and his mother both suspect that he is autistic to a degree as a had a difficult time participating in schools and interpreting people's feelings. Autistic seventism is a well documented, and it is his autism that may have given him a special ability that seems tailor made to helping him connect with other people. Now turning to animal interest news. Meet the alpaca who thinks she's a dog and even travels around in a Vauxhall estate car that was bought especially for her. 2-year-old alpaca Annie 2-year-old alpaca named Annie was rejected by her mom and had been bottle fed every 2 hours by owner Danny Burns. This strange story begins when Burns first bought them two alpacas on a whim 14 years ago after losing his job. Annie grew up living a luxurious life as a family pet and wanders around doing what she wants. In the beginning, Danny brought her with him everywhere he went, as Annie needed a strict feeding routine. She lived in his house in Stirling, Scotland, along with 3 dogs and 2 cats. She prefers to socialize with the 3 Labradoodle dogs and believes she is one and loves to relax on car journeys in the back of the big Vauxhall Zafara station wagon bought to accommodate her. She loves to stretch her head out the window and recently charmed traffic of cops who stopped to take pictures with her. Annie is currently expecting her own baby, and Danny is not sure how she will take to motherhood, as she has rejected mixing with the herd of 75 alpacas which roam around in fields. We are hoping she will go back with the herd once she has her baby, he explained. She wants nothing to do with the other alpacas. She hides when she sees them, or maybe has a superiority complex over them. This is Joshua Show reporting for you. Connect. That's it for me. Now I'll send it back to you, Aiden.
You know what? I gotta say, guys, GPSs are very scary things. You know what? I have a fear. I always have a fear where a GPS is going to lead me somewhere and it's gonna scare me. It's gonna like I'm gonna pull up next to a cave and it's like you've arrived at your destination. I'm like, where am I? But I'm really glad that everyone was safe from the lake. And you know what? That alpaca video, the alpaca news. I really hope that slowly but surely she can be reintroduced back into nature. Anyways, for our final board gaming news, we have board games. Video games, board games, it's a combo. It's all games. And today we have to do our board game of the week, similar to our video game of the week. But guess what? It's a board game. And today's board game of the week is called The Living Forest. In The Living Forest, guys, you play as a nature spirit who will try to save the forest and its sacred tree from the flames of the Onibi. But you are not alone in your mission, as the animal guardians have come together to lend a hand around the circle of spirits where you progress. Each turn, they'll bring you valuable elements, so try to combine your team of animal guardians as best as possible to carry out your actions. But be careful, some of them are lonely and do not like to be mixed with others. You'll have one of 3 ways to achieve your goal: by planting 12 different protective trees, by collecting the 12 sacred flowers to awaken Sankey, the great guardian of the forest, or by extinguishing the 12 flames to permanently repel Onibi. I love this. It's all nature based. I love nature based games. They're absolutely fantastic. This one's all about guardian spirits. And you know what? That kind of follows a bit of the folk tale, kind of like myth legend kind of aspect to it. But it's an interesting concept for a game. And you know what? I always love a game that follows the aspect of spirits. Anyways, though, next up is Nebraska, and Nebraska has with us some entertainment and podcast news.
Hello everybody, how are you guys today? My name is Nibras Khan and I'm news for entertainment news. Let's get to our top story. And our top story is about San Diego Comic Con is back. And that means the crowd of the convention, Marvel Studios Hall H panel is back too. But with so much uncertainty in the air, Marvel could do almost anything on Saturday. The studio could do as it did in 2019 and drop a 4-year calendar of upcoming movies of Marvel films and TV projects on the audience. Or it could put one spotlight on Black Panther Wakanda Forever and save the real reveals for September when Disney plans a multi-hour panel during its D23 convention for Marvel and Star Wars updates. But if Marvel Studios goes big in Hall H this year, here's what you should be expecting to hear about. The one thing that is pretty much guaranteed to see in Hall H is very next MCU film on the calendar, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. After a rocky shoot, the movie is still set for November 11th, but there is one Marvel project that will hit before Wakanda Forever, and that's She-Hulk. Attorney at Law, a 9-episode series premiering on Disney Plus on August 17. The next stretch for Marvel's dated project includes the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and the Marvels. All three films have wrapped filming and gone into post-productions, so teasers and trailers are on the table, especially for February's Quantumania. The Secret Invasion Disney Plus series also wrapped filming this year and does not have a release window smaller than 2023. But trailers aside, there are plenty more projects that Marvel could simply offer a major update on. Barely a peep has been heard about the Fantastic Four or Blade films since they were announced for the in development at the SDCC San Diego Comic Con 2019. Upcoming Iron Man spin-off and Disney Plus series Iron Heart is currently in filming, and production on Armor Wars, also for Disney Plus, is expected to wrap up within 2022. Marvel announced several sequels since the last SDCCC in 2019 and could potentially offer an update in their titles and cast for Loki Season 2, Captain America 4, and Shang-Chi 2. Oh my god, this just blew my mind. So much Marvel news, and that's why I love to do this, right? Sometimes I don't give you guys a lot of Marvel, sometimes I don't give a lot of other news, but when the big news comes, I give all together, and which I love. And it is a huge news, right? They could announce a lot of stuff tomorrow, like they did in 2019. 2019 was just amazing. Everything they announced, a lot of shows, it was just amazing. Maybe they could do it on Saturday, so tomorrow. Maybe not. Maybe September or the upcoming month. But anyways, I'm really excited. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that they're announcing this. Finally, after COVID, everything will be fast forwarding and everything will be good. Okay, now to my second story. Now, before I go to my second story, I'll let you get the fact of the day. And today's fact of the day is drum roll, please. Did you guys know that nowadays you can pretty much buy anything from online shopping? But did you know you can buy proper and durable eyeglasses from the comfort of your own house? Yes, that's true. Anyone can buy eyeglasses from an online store. If you don't believe it, then believe it. Because you see right there, these glasses, I bought them from an online store. These are online. I didn't bought them from a store. I bought them from an online store. Yes. And so the store is called Clearly Canada. All you need is your eye prescription from your doctor and your PD distance. So PD is just the distance between your two eyes. This here, right here, and distance. So also the glasses can fit you properly because it's online. You're not going to the store and trying them on. So it is online and just information. You don't have to buy glasses online. It's just general information, but it's just amazing. And that's it. You order them and they come right after how many weeks they come. It's just amazing. And also the biggest thing is it's cheap. Honestly, it's cheap. These ones I got like $30-$40. I don't remember these are old. So just that's it, below $50, and it's just amazing. From a store, honestly, from a store point, if you go there, you decide more than $100. Everyone knows they're very expensive, but these is very cheap from online. They're secure. You just have to get your correct measurement for your eyes, your prescription from your doctor, and your PD, and that's all. It's so amazing. I hope you like this fact. If you do, comment down below. Honestly, I was blown away when these came, and because they are so comfortable, they're so nice. You just need to get your PD right. Okay, awesome. Okay, so now my second story. So my second story is about a podcast. So the podcast name is We Study Billionaires. We Study Billionaires podcast hosted by Stig Broderson and Trey Lockerbie is a flagship podcast by the Investors Podcast Network with more than 85 million downloads. So on the show, they interview and study famous financial billionaires including Warren Buffett, Howard Marks, and Bill Gates. And they teach you what they learn and how you can apply their investment strategies in the stock market. Leverage the lessons from studying billionaires and apply them in your own investing journey. So honestly, I love this podcast. It is about financial freedom. It's about everything economics, financially, how to be financial free. It explains in a lot of simple terms how to invest in stocks, online stocks. It's just amazing. It's like if you don't know anything about stocks or if you don't know anything about financial anything, they do it in simpler words. That's why I listen to it, right? Even I know the information, they bring something new. And it's just not about investing in stocks. It's just how the billionaires went up, right? Investing, how they made their company. It's just a great podcast. That's how I really, really recommend. So the podcast name again, We Study Billionaires. We Study Billionaires podcast. Okay? I hope you had fun. And that's all from me. As always, it's Nibras Khan from Ukraine. I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Take care. Back to Aiden. Thank you guys so much. Bye.
Interesting fact that you were just talking about the San Diego Comic Con. You know, it's a relatively kind of like extended kind of thing, and we got news from DC, and I am actually looking forward to seeing what kind of Marvel news there is. It's kind of like an E3, for example. It's every company usually has a day where they're going to like showcase the stuff that they're making and what they're going to be planning for. So definitely looking forward to that. And thank you for the podcast suggestion. And thank you so much for your news, Nibras. Anyways, though, we got to move on to our last bit. And in my personal opinion, the cherry on top of the Youth Connect, we have to go to Jeffrey with his live.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing great out there. Hope you're ready to hear some music from myself, Jeffrey, your live musician. And I'm going to be performing an original song that was created by Aiden and myself. And it's called A Bird Knows What It's Like to Be Loved. To be loved protect and faith. To have confidence, safety. This is what happiness feels like in my head. 3 in the morning, to announce a new day. Telling the world to get up, get outside and play. To be loved is to protect and faith. To have confidence, safety. This is what happiness feels like in my head. A flight is carefree. My soul is okay. Color face like a rainbow parade. Lifting people's sadness. Spirits with a song. Telling the world that we all belong. To belong is to protect and faith. To have confidence, safety. This is what happiness feels like in my head. Hey, big lights in the sky. Knowing that once in a while, my love is all around for you. Remember to care. My family love is everywhere. I feel like me knows what it's like to be loved. To protect and faith. This is what true happiness feels like in my head. To be loved is to protect and faith. To have comfort and safety. This is what happiness feels like in my head. It's 3 in the morning to announce a new day. Telling the world to get up, get outside and play. To be loved is to protect and faith. To have comfort and safety. This is what happiness feels like in my head. My flight is carefree. My soul is okay. Cover the face like a rainbow parade. Lifting people's sadness. Spirits with a song. Telling the world that we all belong. To belong is to protect and faith. To have comfort and safety. This happiness feels like in my head. Cover face like a rainbow parade. Lifting people's sadness. Spirits with a song. Everything pushed in the sky. Knowing once in a while, my love is all around for you. Remember to care. My family love is everywhere. I feel like me knows what it's like to be loved. To protect and faith. To have comfort, safety. This is what true happiness feels like in my head. Everything goes in the sky. No way, no once in a while. My love is all around for you. Remember to care. My favorite love is remember to care. A bird like me knows what it's like to be loved, to protect and save, to compensate me. This happiness feels like in my head. Everything bursts in the sky. No rain or once in a while. My love is all year round for you. Remember to care. My favorite love is everywhere. A girl like me knows it's like to be loved, to protect and save, to compensate me. This with true happiness feels like in my head. To be loved is to protect and save, to have comfort and safety. This is what happiness feels like in my head. Thank you, everyone. This is Jeffrey, you live musician. See you all next week. It's back to you, Aiden.
So, guys, that is a great song, and I wrote the lyrics. And I just want to say, the main song lyric that I want you to think is to be loved, is to be protected and fed, to have comfort and safety, and honestly, that is what happiness is inside of my head. I hope that you guys enjoyed that song because Jeffrey absolutely killed it with it, and it was absolutely beautiful. I literally was up out of my chair and dancing all around the room. My parents were also dancing around the room, and I gotta say thank you so much, Jeffrey. And we have reached the end of our Youth Connect. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to click on that notification bell. Other than that, guys, we will see you all next week. Goodbye, guys, and have a great week.
Bye-bye, everyone.